What's up, everybody? It's Alan the Kraken, and today we're going to look at some Google Trends. Here we have Flesh and Blood TCG duking it out with MetaZoo, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, and a fan favorite, Yu-Gi-Oh! Um, man, Pokemon's just destroying. Like, they have the entire market. If you go down by sub-region, you might have like a 2% where it says Magic the Gathering has it, but it's still 98% per region, almost across the board for the entire United States. Um, Very, very interesting, right? So we understand Pokemon is a monster, like a monstrosity right now. But let's go ahead and see what happens when we remove it from this formula here. So you can see Magic the Gathering takes up the number 2 spot, um, followed closely behind by Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we trail down into the battle for 4th place between MetaZoo and Flesh and Blood trading card game. Um, there's not really much say to here. This is like Magic the Gathering's just been on a steady climb, if you can see. They're projected to do very well with Innistrad, Innistrad Midnight Hunt. There's a lot of powerful cards that may end up being Commander staples, but there still needs to be playtesting done, of course, and we'll figure it out once those cards come to play. Um, so let's go ahead and remove Magic the Gathering now, and let's go down to the nitty gritty of the people fighting for that 3rd spot. So now we have Flesh and Blood, MetaZoo, and Yu-Gi-Oh! As you can see, recently, MetaZoo kinda almost took over the 3rd seat. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Rallied back, and then MetaZoo went on a nosedive. Um, I don't understand the nosedive. Um, I know that I've been critical of MetaZoo, but I really don't understand the nosedive. The collectability for MetaZoo is outstanding. Uh, the singles for MetaZoo have been falling every day, and not by like a couple percent. I'm talking about 5 to 10% per day. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm not sure if it's like a massive panic sell-off or people are just consolidating to get ready for Innistrad or Shining Shadow Saga or any like Akora TCG that's on Kickstarter or D Spirits. I don't know if like people are consolidating to bet on the new hotness or if they're gonna go back to their ex-girlfriend Magic the Gathering or it's kind of weird, right? Um, let's do this, right? Let's take a closer look. We know Yu-Gi-Oh is still in 3rd. Let's take a closer look at Flesh and Blood and MetaZoo. Flesh and Blood, Tales of Aria looks phenomenal. Art-wise, phenomenal. There is some concerns about walls of text on some of the Flesh and Blood cards, but I think that's a non-issue. Um, I think that they're just trying to explain everything in like a more comprehensive way, so that the game can be played with just a little bit more instruction on the card. And I'm not going to fault LSS for that at all. Um, but for MetaZoo, playability, like, it's not a playable game right now. It just isn't. You can, by playable, I mean, like, it's balanced. It's not balanced. I can there's a combo that I saw. I'm not gonna get into the nitty gritty of it, but there's a combo that I saw that you can win on turn one. There's also like one turn knockout decks, and it, I, just Ding Bell alone, right? Just Ding Bell alone, Exhibit A. Ding Bell, it can then pay X to get counters on it. You can attack with it, and then it creates that many counters. That's nuts because you can have 8 of those in your deck. It's like an overpowered Stone Coil Serpent. So the playability with MetaZoo, just like there's so many broken cards in it, and it's hard to really gauge if people are going to enjoy that kind of broken style of gameplay. Collectibles, the sample cards, those are holding value for MetaZoo. First edition though is just like tanking. Um, Flesh and Blood Tales of Aria looks beautiful. It kind of reminds me of like Ice Age mixed with Mercadian Masks a little bit, um, and these elemental and uh, elemental effects and the statuses and the talents and stuff. I think people are going to figure that out. It's not going to be terrible. I just view Flesh and Blood as a more complex game, and then if you want to collect the cards and just have fun collecting cards, you can do that as well. You can do that with any card game. Um, but I would caution with MetaZoo because it's not playable in that regard, that it falls into the fad territory, and I'm just gonna shrug at that. I think MetaZoo falls into a fad category if it can't be played. Flesh and Blood is can be played, phenomenal, very balanced. I had a post up for the Road to Nationals by Unison Games Cafe. He did a breakdown of the heroes, and yeah, there was a lot of chain um, in that event, but that's the new hotness. So of course, a lot of people are going to want to try out chain, and going into Tales of Aria with Runeblade getting a ton of love. Runeblade is just going to be a powerhouse, and it's going to be a powerhouse for a while. So I don't think that you're going to do bad if you start buying up some Runeblade singles. Definitely get your playsets in, because if Runeblade's going to continue to get love, then that it's going to get nuts really fast. Um, I'm a little disappointed we didn't get a class that was like Bard or Merchant. I know that Merchant wasn't likely with Tales of Aria because Aria does not have currency, but I was hoping that there would be like a contrast of different civilizations within Wraith, and it would be like, oh well, you have the Pits who are meeting or people from Aria for the first time. I was wondering if it was going to be that kind of conflict, but it looks like it's going to be this kind of northern, more like just frozen elemental, whatever conflict that's happening up there between Eisen's Peak and whatever's going on. That there's some imbalance that's going on. We'll learn more as Tales of Aria gets spoiled. But yeah, that's my take on all this. Right now, it looks like Flesh and Blood is going to take back that fourth seat spot here soon. It's projected to. Um, and just know that these are Google search trends. This isn't like financial market data. This is actual players who are searching and interested in the games. Um, so that's where this data is derived from. It says here that they're like it's not really quite touching, but let's go ahead and zoom in on the 30 day, and I'll show you what I mean. Like these two games are dead tied almost. There we go. Yeah, they're dead tied right now. So it really depends on what James White does versus Mike Waddell, because whatever stops that they pull is going to have to take place right now, if they're going to take over that fourth seat. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys. Remember to have fun, and you all have a wonderful day. Peace.